Let's roll out to Isaiah Thomas's crib, the former Piston great NBA Hall of Famer, two-time NBA champion, and co-star of the Last Dance documentary, unintended co-star.
Right.
Isaiah, you have made a comment, though we brought you on today because you made a comment that really irked me, which is unusual for you. But you said that the athletes of today aren't getting the credit that they could, and that LeBron and Kevin Durant and these guys would have dominated your era of the NBA. I completely disagree with that. But why do you believe this about LeBron James, and why would he been so dominant in your era?
And both of you being former athletes, we all come to the table, and normally, if all things being even, the bigger, faster, stronger athlete wins. Now, the only way a smaller person has any chance of beating a bigger, stronger, faster athlete is if that bigger, faster, stronger athlete makes a mistake, which gives that smaller player a chance to win. When I look at LeBron James, he and Kevin Durant, if you put both of them in our era, and if you were to put Kevin Durant on our team with the Pistons, or if you were to put LeBron James on our team with the Pistons, both of those guys would be probably the best players and the best scorers on our team. And when I look at those two guys as being freaks, in the modern day era, and if you put them back in our era, they would have been freaks because of their athleticism. I've never seen two players like a Durant and LeBron James ever in our NBA with the size and the skill set that they both possess.
I wholeheartedly agree with you, Isaiah. Look, the only counter to that conversation really is, well, if the guys of yesterday had all the technology, the mindset, the access, et cetera, the medical resources, things will be different for those guys as well. True. But when we're talking about the physics, bigger, faster, stronger, and then if you look at the volume, the collection of athletes now, I dare someone to look at the talent level of the sixth man back in the 80s versus the sixth man right now in terms of what you're seeing. It's just a different animal, and it's okay. I think only the ego holds on that thinks that this world is not evolving and sports are not evolving as well. These guys are walking in the gym, jumping out the gym. But back in the day, we heard Jordan rules and others say, if he just doesn't get in the air, we have a chance. Well, good luck having that as a strategy now, because everybody's in the damn air. So you could just see, looking at yesterday, no slight to greatness, because greatness cuts through era. But the average Joe of yesterday wouldn't even be known today because there are just too many talented guys.
Well, when
Isaiah, my position, Isaiah, would be if Kevin Durant played back in your era, he would play the game differently. He might have a post-up game. He might be the next iteration of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If LeBron was played in your era, he might have played the game the way Karl Malone played it, rather than the way the game is played today.
That is absolutely true, and that's where coaching and scheme and system comes in. And I, it's like Michael Jordan is probably the greatest wing scorer that's ever played the game. And the reason why I say wing scorer, because when we don't count Chamberlain and we don't count Kareem in the conversation. So now I put it in the category, he's the greatest wing scorer ever. He and LeBron James. Now, that being said, if Michael Jordan played in today's era, he would be a different player. He would probably have a coach saying to him he couldn't take the mid-range shot. Michael Jordan would either be dunking or shooting a three-point shot. He'd be great at both of them, but the thing that he's known for in terms of being, probably the greatest mid-range player ever, we wouldn't see that in today's game if he was in this era.
And okay, but also, I think the way y'all competed in that era is completely different than the way guys compete in this era. The competition was more fierce in your era. Do you disagree with that?
I think because of the physicality of the game that was allowed during that era, it definitely makes you a little bit more competitive, and it makes things tougher for you because of the physicality. So, resistance is always good. And both of you are, former football players. So, if you put Jerry Rice in today's game, who's going to cover him? They couldn't cover him back then. You put him in today's game where he can run down the field and he can go across the middle. Back when you guys were playing football, very few receivers went across the middle. In basketball, the rules are very similar to football. Everything has changed. So consequently, the statistics have gone up in football, just like the statistics have gone up in individual performances in basketball. But there are a lot of things that you can do now in basketball, just like in football. There are a lot of things that you can do that, 15, 20 years ago, you just couldn't do.
Look, I got a crazy story real quick about exactly what you asked, Jason. Great question. Because things look tougher doesn't mean that they're better. We had a slower receiver in Jacksonville one time in training camp, running, throw the ball, deep route. He dove for it, caught it, the crowd erupted. You know what our coach said? If he was faster, he wouldn't have to dive. That's my point. That's what we're seeing right now. These guys ain't got to do all that. They are different, brother. It's physics. It's crazy. Sorry.
No, I mean, really, they are different. Before I met Steph Curry, I thought Steph Curry and I was the same size. And then when I met him, he's a little bigger than me.
Hey, Isaiah, thank you so much. We got to keep it moving. Want to have you back when the Last Dance documentary is over, because we really want to get into that in depth.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. And be sure to check out more of the best clips from Speak For Yourself, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.